Hi there, I'm Vincent Boss and I provide dating and self-improvement advice. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing no contact rule. What is it? I provide audio and email coaching to help people try and get their ex back or get a new girlfriend or boyfriend. Check out my website for more details. www.dateme.tips. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. So now let's get back into today's podcast. And today we are discussing no contact rule. What is it? So if you have been dumped and want to try to get your ex back, people suggest you implement the no contact rule. But what is the no contact rule? And why does this give you the chance of one day hearing from your ex again? Well, first of all, we need to go back to the breakup. And a breakup takes place when someone loses romantic emotional attraction for their partner. When this level of romantic emotional attraction drops and plummets to a certain low point, they will likely end the relationship. At this stage, they are seeing their former partner as a very low value individual. And this is something important to remember when we consider why the no contact rule will give you the best possible chance of trying to get your ex back, because the no contact rule starts off by you not contacting your ex. So you are the dumpee, the relationship has ended, and the no contact rule states that you do not contact your ex. And this is for a couple of reasons. Firstly, you are already a low value individual in your ex's eyes. Your ex, the dumper, sees you as a low value individual. And they have said to you that they no longer want to be in a relationship with you. So if you ignore what they are saying and you pursue your ex and you bombard them with contact, then you are not increasing your value. You're actually losing even more value because you are showcasing yourself as desperate, you are showcasing yourself as needy, and you're also showcasing yourself as somebody who is disrespectful and not willing to listen to your ex's thoughts and feelings because they have said, look, I don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. And you're thinking, well, I'm just going to ignore what they're saying and just keep contacting them. Okay, so if we understand the premise that continually to contact your ex, begging, pleading, trying to reason with your ex, if all of these things are going to decrease your value even further, then it should become clear in your mind that the way to increase your value, the way to do the opposite of this, is to do the opposite thing. And the opposite of contact is no contact. So the most valuable things that we see as human beings are rare. Okay, things which are rare, we put a lot of value in. Look at diamonds. Why are diamonds so valuable? It is because they are rare. So what we need to do is to make ourselves rare. We need to become scarce. And that is the second element as for why the no contact rule will work in your favor. So firstly, you are not becoming even lower value because you are bombarding your ex. That's the first point. But the second point is, by becoming scarce, you are automatically and subconsciously growing your value in your ex's mind. Scarcity creates value. So you're probably thinking, well, my ex has ended the relationship and you've already said they don't want me to contact them. You know, if I contact them, I'm going to be bothering them. I'm going to be becoming lower value. So why, if I don't contact them, will I really grow value? Because surely that's just what they want. Well, this is where the magic of the subconscious takes place. Because although it is true that your ex doesn't want to get back with you at this point, and that if you contact them, you will be frustrating them and you will become an even lower value, the truth is that their subconscious is expecting you to contact them. So even though they don't want you to contact them, even though they really would start to think even worse of you if you kept contacting them, if you don't contact them, their subconscious is wondering why. So it's a double whammy. You're winning on both fronts. First of all, by using no contact, you aren't bothering your ex. You aren't becoming lower value. But additionally, by becoming scarce, by not contacting your ex, by being somebody who is no longer putting your mindset, your presence in their presence, if you're taking yourself away from them, then you are doing an additional benefit for you, because their subconscious is expecting you to reaffirm their value. When they ended the relationship, they lifted themselves to be a higher value person, and they look down on you as a lower value person. So subconsciously, they are expecting you to reaffirm their high value. They are expecting you to really continue to push them up onto that pedestal. So if you don't do that, if you don't give them your presence, then you're going to be really confusing them subconsciously. And that is where scarcity creates value. The value of yourself will start to grow in your ex's mind. And this is where the level of romantic emotional attraction begins to grow as well. Now, there are additional things that you can do to help your cause, and I mentioned them in greater detail in other podcasts. So please make sure you subscribe and you ring the bell for notifications so you can check out all of the content that I've uploaded to give you the best possible chance of really growing that romantic emotional attraction in your ex's mind. So you're now thinking to yourself, okay, well, that sounds relatively simplistic. Why are there different versions of no contact rule? Why is it that I go online and I see different versions, and why should I believe your version rather than somebody else's? Well, my version of a no contact rule is the only version which makes sense. So let's look at a couple of the other popular versions which don't make any sense at all. Probably the most common version of a no contact rule, which is going to be really, really detrimental to you, is known as the 30-day no contact rule. And the 30-day no contact rule states that you don't contact your ex for 30 days. And if they contact you during those 30 days, you also ignore them. You are 30 days where there is no contact whatsoever. And then after 30 days, you reach out to your ex. Well, this doesn't make any sense. Okay, this is not likely to work for you. Firstly, if your ex contacts you, then this shows that their level of intrigue and romantic emotional attraction has grown to the point of where they want to speak with you. And you should not be turning this down. Even if it is a very short and basic message, I believe that you can grow breadcrumbs. I believe that you can grow the largest tree from the smallest acorn. So if your ex contacts you, I believe you should reply. I certainly don't believe you should be looking at the calendar and saying, well, it's not been 30 days, so I'm going to ignore them. Additionally, if it gets past 30 days and you haven't heard from your ex, then the level of romantic emotional attraction in their mind has not grown sufficiently. Your value has not grown enough in their mind. So you reaching out to them is not going to do you any favours. You reaching out to them at the 31 day mark is not going to help you. So again, this is why I believe the 30-day no contact rule is nonsense. Another popular theory of no contact, which I believe is absolute rubbish, is a version which is based around 90 days. But this one is slightly different in the respect that it's 90 days of radio silence. So in this version of no contact that some people promote, you don't contact your ex for 90 days. But not only that, you go radio silent. Meaning that if you use social media ordinarily, you don't use it for 90 days. You absolutely vanish off the face of the earth. And then after 90 days, you appear back on social media and you contact your ex. Well, for me, this doesn't work again for a couple of reasons. Firstly, once again, if you haven't heard from your ex after 90 days, then I don't believe you should be reaching out to them just because you've passed that point. Secondly, if you're somebody who normally uses social media, I don't believe that you should be thinking to yourself, right, I'm going complete radio silence for 90 days. No, not at all. In fact, I believe you can use social media to your advantage as a way of growing romantic emotional attraction in your ex's mind. So I'm a big believer of using social media to your benefit. So I believe that this version, this 90-day radio silence version of a no contact rule is absolute nonsense as well. So what is my version? What is my version of a no contact rule, and why do I believe that this will give you the best possible chance of one day hearing from your ex again. So my version of a no contact rule is in essence unlimited no contact. I believe that in most instances, if you have been dumped, you should never contact your ex again unless they contact you first. But if and when they do contact you, you must reply. You respond and you ask a question yourself. This is how you can regrow a connection and begin to build a new relationship. It doesn't matter if it has been 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, or longer than 2 years since you last heard from your ex. If your ex contacts you, then you must reply. If you want a friendship with your ex, then take it in that direction. If you want to just be polite but no longer move forward, you can take it in this direction. And if you want to try to get your ex back, then you need to be growing the connection with the view of meeting ASAP. Additionally, I don't think you should go radio silent. If you use social media, then you should continue to do so, but use the hints and tips that I give in other podcasts to use it effectively so it's working for you and not against you. However, you shouldn't be sitting around during this time. You should be always moving forward with your life. And an important part of my version of a no contact rule is during your time away from your ex, you need to be going through self-improvement, improving yourself every single day. Become a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday, and a better version tomorrow than you are currently today. Without the self-improvement, you can't become a version 2.0 of yourself, which is needed to move to the next stage of trying to get your ex back. Because if your ex contacts you, then yes, you have completed no contact. But unless you are a version 2.0 of yourself, the chances of you regrowing and reconnecting with your ex long term are minimal. Self-improvement is key, and moving forward with your life is vital. With or without your ex, you will have a positive future if you go through self-improvement and move forward every day. You should not be clock watching, because there is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back, and there is no guarantee that your ex will ever contact you again. So you don't want to be waiting around. It might take days, weeks, months, years, decades before you hear from your ex again. And in some instances, you might never hear from them again. You have one life and you need to live it. And if and when your ex contacts you, you want the ball to be in your court. You want the decision of whether you decide to move forward with things with your ex, whether you just keep things as a platonic friendship, or whether you wish to not speak to them at all. It has to be your choice. And you only get to that point by going through the self-improvement and moving forward with your life. You might have met somebody better by the time your ex contacts you, and therefore you have no desire to reconnect with them in a relationship. It's so important you understand that you will find happiness again, and that happiness is around your next corner. You just don't know when that next corner is. If you have any questions about my version of a no contact rule, then please type them in the comments and I will try to get back to you ASAP. If you believe that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description.
Yeah, if you miss your ex, we can help with that. Help you get him back, or we can help find you someone else. Yeah, Vincent Bo, the relationship coach, giving you some insight, bringing you a new approach. DateMe.tips, go and check the site, giving you advice, helping with your love life. Get your ex back, or move to the next. Ain't no sweat, you know Vincent Bo got you. Finding love ain't no problem. Yeah, DateMe.tips, check it out now.